Cheers, I do buckers. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer doing an old-fashioned drink, or a version of, if you will, using Old Pepper Distillery. They're straight rye whiskey, single barrel proof at 122.6. Wow, so it is big. I've had this bottle for a little while, though. I've had it since January. I didn't realize I had it that long. So I mean, I've got this much left, or I had a little bit more left when I made this drink, but I figured, well, maybe it's time to finish that up because I had stuff, been opening new stuff. Maybe I ought to quit opening up new stuff and finish up the old stuff first. So anyway, 122.6. I got 2 ounces of this whiskey in this old fashioned. Let me show you what that looks like, and I'll explain what's in there. I've got 2 ounces of the whiskey. I've got 1 ounce of a homemade simple syrup, but it's not just the run of the mill simple syrup, man. So I made this here using a raw sugar, lavender petals, orange zest, and dried orange zest, I should say, and a dry ginger. So it's lavender, orange, ginger simple syrup. Kind of changing the game a little bit, and the garnish is a candied orange peel. Oh, fuck nuggets. That's good, man. I don't care who you are. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Oh, wow. Oh, mercy. Left home alone to my own devices. Anyways, it's... So we went out of town for about 3 days, and we had a lot of fun, to be honest with you. I just don't enjoy going out. I mean, what I mean by that is not necessarily just being away from home. I don't enjoy going out as much as I used to. I don't enjoy going to the pubs late night. I'm not into that late night scene anymore. I just don't feel it. I've gotten to where I like buying the products I like, coming home and making a nice cocktail that doesn't cost me $15 to $20. Well, I'm not going to mention the place because they weren't really overpriced for what they were. Most of the cocktails were $15 to $20, but they were using, quality whiskeys. If you go anywhere, you're going to pay $15 to $20 for a good Manhattan or an old fashioned. But I spend a nice amount for the bottle, and I know I can make that cocktail. I just don't enjoy being out anywhere as much as I once did. I used to love being out and meeting people, and I don't necessarily mind meeting people now because, I mean, the 3 days we were gone, I mean, hey, it was nice talking to folks. I start talking to strangers. I don't have an issue with that. But it was nice to get back to the place we were staying at, just kind of relax, unwind, and yeah, we kind of dug that, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, it all started with 2020. When we couldn't get out, we started to, when we first were able to, it seemed like we had to get out, so I would get out, and it seemed like the more I got out, the less I wanted to get out. Now I kind of go out just because it's been a while since I've been, and then you almost feel like it's a moral imperative. Well, I have to get out, and then I'm out thinking, boy, I'd really like to be home. I go to places I used to like to be, 2 to 3 hours. 1 hour. 1 hour, I'm ready to go home. I don't even like to have folks over to my house. Kind of a private person, my wife and I, and I'm getting worse in my old age. I'm not necessarily becoming a hermit per se, but it could happen. I don't have usually hermits don't want to meet people. They don't want to be around people. I don't have that issue per se, but don't necessarily mind meeting people, but or I don't want, or mind being recognized, but kind of like just being at home, like relax, make the cocktails my way, the way I want to make them, because nobody's a better bartender than I am for me. Yeah. Tell me, you saying you're the best bartender? No, I'm not saying I'm the best bartender there is. I'm saying I'm the best bartender for me, for the way I like my particular cocktail. Nobody anywhere is going to make them the way I like it. Better than I will. So I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy some whiskey. I probably should have finished up a while back. Kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. It's not like it was hidden. It's been out in the open. But I keep buying other stuff, and I have a habit of doing that. So I need to work through some other bottles, and I'll get through some of the new stuff. Oh, mercy, Percy. So I do a version of an old-fashioned. Tom, there's no ice in that drink, so how can you call that an old-fashioned? Well, that is a very legitimate question. It really is. An old-fashioned is typically served on the rocks, but it's not written in stone that it has to be served that way. The same with a Manhattan. Manhattan is typically served straight up, but some people prefer it on the rocks. For me, I prefer a straight-up cocktail. So I've gotten to where at home, if I'm out, it is almost always served on the rocks, although there are some places that will ask you. I will be honest though, I just prefer a straight up drink. That's why I prefer the Manhattan and a martini, because they're almost always served straight up. I don't typically order an old fashioned out because it's almost always served on the rocks. But again, I go back to I am the best bartender for me. So at home, I can make my old fashioned and serve it straight up the way I like it, which means I've got it good and chilled, but I'm not leaving any ice in the glass. Unless it's like a specialty. If you got a smoked ice or something, I can dig it. Because I've done some smoked ice myself. I have, man. And I really like it. So on those occasions, yes. But I just love, for me, I don't want the ice in the glass. I don't want my drink getting watered down. I like a straight up cocktail, which means I've got it chilled initially, but I'm not leaving any ice in the glass. And if you've got it chilled properly, if you've chilled your glass and you're using quality products, well, it's going to stay cold long enough for you to drink it. And if it does warm a touch, well, again, you're using good products, so it's not going to matter a whole lot. So there you go. We get some good places though. While we were out, I did manage to visit Restless Spirits, and that was a nice experience. I bought way too much there. I kind of went way over budget at Restless, and I had to kind of move some stuff around, if you will. We didn't do quite as much Thursday. Actually, I didn't hold my wife back from doing anything she wanted to do Thursday, but I knew my budget was a little tight on Thursday because I spent way too much on Wednesday. But the upside is that I shouldn't need to buy any alcohol until, January. Well, not that I won't buy any, but I probably don't need to. I got a lot of stuff going on here. I do have a lot of open bottles I really need to finish up. I do have a couple of things I do want to buy, just to have around before I won't be able to get them again. But yeah, I do have a lot of open things I just need to finish up. I did open up a lot of my new stuff just because when we were out I had to open it because I didn't have anything else, but I need to not open them now even though I really want to. There's a few products I have that I'm not going to open that I really want to open just because I need to finish up some of this other stuff. Man, that is a nice cocktail. I think people get conditioned, right? You get conditioned to drink something a specific way, so you think that's the way it ought to be served all the time. I like an old-fashioned now that I can make it my way. I didn't used to like the drink because I found them too sweet, right? It seems like every place you go, they want to put a lot of sugar cube or simple syrup in. So if I can make it at home, I can do it my way and add the sweetness that I want. And that, again, and that being that I don't like ice in my cocktail. I know I'm a little different that way. But it does seem like younger old-fashioned drinkers, that's why they like the old-fashioned, because they want that ice cube in their drink. And I just don't, which is why I like to make mine at home and do it straight up. the way a cocktail was meant to be drank. Anyway, anyways, I digress. Yeah, I mean, classic cocktails. A Manhattan should be drank straight up. The martini. Some people will order a martini on the rocks. Some people will order a Manhattan on the rocks. And I'm the opposite with the old fashioned. I will order my my old fashioned straight up, different from everybody else. Anyway, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all right, good guys, sláinte.